All right, here we go. We got Goodz in the building. What's good?
I'm chilling, man. Living life.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming in.
Definitely.
Legendary battle you just had. I mean, not just had, but you had somewhat recently.
Yeah, yeah. You could say
You
just
know,
had. It was recently.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
recently.
And we're gonna get into all that, but I kind of want to go into the story a little bit. Since you've done interviews here before, but not with me. So
Right.
I'm definitely looking forward to doing this. So, where did you grow up at?
Bronx, New York, where hip hop all started.
Okay. And what was it like growing up during that time?
um, I mean, it definitely wasn't like now. Now there's a lot of technology and all that stuff. It was a little rough. It was more rough. The streets was rough. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Rap and hip hop and all that was always around though. Like I got into rap just bumping into it one day, just coming home from school. So
Okay, what do you mean by bumping into it?
I walked into two people battling and didn't know what it was, and there was like a crowd around, and I was coming home from school, and I'm like, what is this? And I like squeeze through everybody and look, and there's two people like just rapping back and forth to each other, and I'm like, I was so enthused that I wound up missing curfew and getting my ass whooped.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how I got introduced to battling and rap and stuff like that.
Okay, so before then, you weren't even thinking about rapping at all.
I was young. I mean, when this happened, I was maybe 7 or something.
Oh, okay, it was really young. Okay.
Yeah, I was really. I mean, I wrote my first rap when I was maybe like 8. You know what I'm saying? So 9 years old. So that's just how I got introduced to it. I ain't really, I knew what it was, but I wasn't into it like, this is what I want to do, or you know what I'm saying? So
Okay, so here you are. You're still a kid, 7, 8 years old.
right.
So you're just messing around. At what point did it start getting a little more serious, though?
Um, just doing it for it got serious when it was it was like the older dudes in my building, you know what I'm saying? They was rapping and they was like doing it for real, going to the studio, doing tapes. A couple of them had deals before. And it got serious for me when one of them heard me and they used to all sit in the staircase in my building and rap. I used to hear them beating on the door, making beats, rapping. I used to always walk by it. You know what I'm saying? At this time I couldn't really hang out in the hallways and stuff. So one of them had heard me one day. I don't know if I was just walking by them and I was rapping, and then he was like, "What you was saying? Let me hear what you were saying." And he kind of made me rap for him, and I rapped, and he was like, "Yo, that was dope." And he said, "Yo, later on tonight, I'm gonna bring you in the hall in the staircase when we all in there, when we all in there rapping. I want everybody to hear you." And he brung me in there, and I rapped for everybody. And it was like that was like a show for me. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people around. I'm like, and that's when it got serious for me, when they start telling me like, "Yo, you nice. Like, how old are you?" And I'm like, at that time, I probably was like maybe 10. I'm like, I'm 10. And they like, "Yo, you nice. Keep doing it. We got a take we doing. We want to put you on it." And that's when it started getting serious for me when that stuff started happening.
Okay, so at 10 years old, people were already seeing the talent and putting you on.
Right. At that time. I still haven't been to a real studio at that time yet. They
Mhm.
had a setup in the house, like, and they had equipment in the house, stuff like that. And I went there and recorded for the first time. But at that time, I haven't been to a real studio yet.
Okay, and did you start out as Goods, or did that come later?
Nah. You go through so much whack names, man, before you get to a name that stick with you. I think my first rap name was Reality.
Okay,
My first
reality.
rap name was Reality. Then from Reality, it was Street Goods, and I had that for a minute. It was Street Goods when I was running around. That's when I was running around the streets, battling everybody, doing all that. Yeah. So
You did an interview and you said, "I'm blessed to say that I haven't been locked up and I did a bunch of stupid shit when I was younger."
right.
So, what do you think you did that prevented you from getting locked up?
It ain't what I did. It was just God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I also moved. I also didn't move like everybody else. Like if everybody else was going to do something, like I'd be the only one that'd be like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Y'all go do it. I'll meet up with y'all later or whatever. So I always was smart in my move and the way I moved. So even when I was doing the stupid shit, I was moving smart doing it. I wasn't just like so out there with it or flamboyant. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was that, and more than anything, it was just me being blessed, man. God was looking over me. That's the only thing I could say, because I did a lot of stupid shit like everybody else did. I moved a little smarter doing it, but it still was stupid shit, no matter how you put it. So
I mean, did you ever get arrested and beat the case, or were you just never getting arrested?
yeah, nah, I got arrested before. Yeah, I got arrested.
Okay.
I got arrested a few times. For minor stuff. I went through probably one kind of big thing that that I beat, but that pretty much was it. I went through like one thing I beat, and then the other stuff was minor stuff.
Okay, so after you beat that case, did you say, all right, this isn't for me, let me just not fuck with it?
Nah, not really. I still was. I still, it made me move even smarter than I was moving. But I still was, dibbling, dabbling. I still was in the streets a little bit and doing stuff and doing shit like that. So I can't say I wasn't, but it opened my eyes up to different things. Like, listen, if you're gonna do these things you're doing, you got to be real strategic on how you move, because in a blink of an eye, it could happen, and it still could happen with you moving that way. But it just made me, it made me get on my P's and Q's even more.
Well, yeah, I remember I interviewed Freeway Ricky, and he said something that kind of stuck with me. He said that,
see, the way I look at it is, first of all, I made the mistake of getting in the drug business. That was my first mistake.
mm-hmm.
My next mistake was I went back into the drug business after I said I quit.
Yeah.
So what he did is he only did what people do in the drug business. They tell. They set you up. And for somebody to go into the drug business and not understand that, which I was in the drug business and didn't understand it, but I came to grips with it.
That's what everything. That's what just playing in the streets. Period. It ain't just with dealing drugs. That comes with it. If you in the streets, honestly, like if you in the streets for long enough time, getting locked up comes with it. It's rare you don't get locked up, or if you out here gang banging, eventually getting shot comes with it, or potentially getting shot or getting killed comes with it. And going into anything, you got to know that. So that makes sense, but that makes sense with everything. If you're in the streets, period, the snitching come with it, the potentially getting hurt come with it. It's no rules. The streets don't love you. It ain't no rules in it.
Yeah, and that's what we really try to push on VladTV is there's a lot of glorification. And, you have to admit that in some of your raps, you glorify your past life.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. And we feel like we have to balance things out. Like, okay, yes, you could glorify it to a certain degree, but don't forget to mention the prison time, the shootings, losing your friends, the murders, the deaths, everything.
Well, it depends on what you consider glorifying, because I don't really glorify the things I did. I talk about them. It's a different. I'll talk about them, but I also, like I said to you now, I also say what comes with it. I mean, that's what made me. That's what grew me up, basically, to me being how I am now. So I don't really try to glorify the bad things. I do talk about them and help people to understand that's the stuff that made me who I am now. Now I do know people that glorify it and don't talk about the stuff that comes with it, though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe in that. I believe if you're going to glorify, yeah, I'm in the streets, I'm gang banging, I'm da-da-da. Tell them how, you got shot 2 years ago, or, you know what I'm saying? Or your man just got killed yesterday because of that. You know what I'm saying? They'll just talk about the good stuff, like the girls and the money that come with it, but they don't talk about the other things that come with it. I stay away from that. I never try to do nothing like that. I always tell the whole story. You're going to hear the whole story.
Yeah, but I interview a lot of the OGs, a lot of some of the biggest, criminal figures of all time. And pretty much all of them say they wish they never done it. They lost so many years of their life. They would ball out for a couple of years, then have to do 30 years in prison. And there's never a justification for that.
Well, it's easy. That's easy to say after you done did it and you older. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say to myself now, I wish I had the same mind I had when I was younger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like just like now I have more of a business mind. Like, I want to own 4 or 5 businesses. If I would have been thinking like that when I was younger, shit, I probably would have been a millionaire right now. But it's easy to, what I'm saying is easy to say when you get older and get more mature, and then you can look back on something. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's very
No,
easy to say
absolutely.
that.